Hey, this is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life coming to you today with the word of the day, and the word is a necessary pruning. I'm taping this on the 30th of September to get a little buffer in so that if anything happens, I won't run out of pre done programs. Uh, like tomorrow, I'm taking some very early. It could be all day that, they're going to give them a sedative and they can't drive home. So I'm helping them out, taking them there, taking them back. So that kind of interrupts your day. But it's the same message and it's the same person giving the message. So I guess it doesn't make any difference. So this is the quote from the 12 Steps, 12 Traditions, page 94. We know that the pains of drinking had to come before sobriety and emotional turmoil before serenity. And that is very true. And this is the daily reflections. I love spending time in my garden feeding and pruning my beautiful flowers. One day, as I was busily snipping away, a neighbor stopped by. She commented, "Oh, your plants are so beautiful. It seems such a shame to cut them back." I replied, "I know how you feel, but the excess must be removed so that they can grow stronger and healthier." Later, I thought that perhaps my plants feel pain, but God and I know that's part of the plan, and I've seen results. I was quickly reminded of my precious AA program and how we all grow through pain. I asked God to prune me when it's time so I can grow. Yeah, this is an important concept, and as a nurse, I studied the effects of stress. Two kinds of stress: eustress, EU, like euphoria. Eustress is good. It's a good stress. Bad stress is distress. So, but that doesn't mean that EU stress, EUSTRESS, is necessarily painless. We've got a perfect example of it right now up at the International Space Station. We have two astronauts that thought they were going up for a weekend, and my goodness, they just sent some people up, and they won't be coming down again now for 4 months or something. They were sent up to get them ready to come home. But what happens when you're in outer space and less gravity? You don't have as much stress. Stress is important with muscles. Very important with muscles. That's why everybody says it's good to walk and keep your muscles toned. I've seen people in nursing homes that have not exercised for whatever reason. Some of it is because they can't understand how to walk anymore with dementia. But anyway, uh, it's important for that good kind of use stress to keep your muscles developed. Well, in space, with less gravity, they don't experience that use stress. They have to do a whole bunch of exercises just to keep them from losing muscle mass. And it can be significant. And I wrote down here, I fractured my right arm, my right ulna, complete break. It was in October, and I had that cast on, and it went from here to my armpits, and my arm was like this. So I couldn't move it. I couldn't do anything with it. They changed it once. Uh, after about 3 months, it looked horrible then, all dead skin. Uh, but when the second time they took it off, it had really, really atrophied. Uh, the skin was awful. I had to put it like in a whirlpool for your arm and get all that skin off it, and it was really, really hairy. My arms aren't that hairy, and I couldn't lift anything with it. The doctor said you're going to have to slowly exercise because the period that it was in the cast, the 6 months, it got none of the eustress, the good stress, and it atrophied. And it's kind of a good, when you think of it, the emotional turmoil. If you want to grow, uh, you got to deal with that stress. And it was tough when it finally came off. Uh, I begged them to take it off because it was I, I had to put on in October, and I think it was May. It was getting hot in Rhode Island. I was sweating, and I just could smell the whole thing. When I slept at night, I slept on that part of my arm. Oh, it was disgusting. Uh, so they did take it off. It finally joined, but the reason I had it off, it wasn't just like a simple fracture. It was separated from the other bone. They did some technique and got it so that it approximated the other bone, and they didn't have to go in and do surgery. But it was in a cast for a long time, and I remember the doctor saying, he said, "Your body heals itself." He says, "I can just give it the best chance of healing itself." He said, "But that's why it's going to be in for such a long time." So, it's a good way to understand that there can be good stress and bad stress. And I really, I'd like to know what some of them probably will be doing a test on what that long term exposure in outer space to low gravity conditions, low stress, no chance for muscle growth. Well, they do exercise, but it can only do so much. So it would be very interesting to see if someone does a study on that and the rate of deterioration. When I was a kid, I heard it about one of the Russian astronauts that went up for a very long time. And so that's it. If you let things go for a very long time, things get worse. You don't have that inner strength anymore. And that's what this program is all about, so that you can get strength, get serenity, and be able to face the problems today. So that's my 2 cents on this, but it's a real life comparison to the words of AA and what actually happens in life with some people, including myself, and not to the extent that those poor people in space. I mean, they'll come back. They'll have a program of physical therapy. I'm sure they will. They'll need to. They probably may need assistance getting up. When they finally land. I've seen that before on television videos where they've been up for a long time. But let's just see, there is bad stress with distress and good stress and eustress. So that's it for me today. I wish you a very safe and sober day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.